Hello and namaste. So, have you thought about reaching out to Hello and namaste. Have you ever thought about reaching out to people from multiple regions? And in case you feel like you are producing some really good content for your website, but you are not able to reach people for multiple regions just because your content is not according to their language, then there is a solution for it. And the solution is to make your website multilingual. So in this particular video, we're going to understand that how you can make your website multilingual, what are the benefits of having a multilingual website, and how you can implement this thing on your website. So without wasting further time, let's get started. Okay, so basically, a multilingual website is the one that serves people from multiple regions, which means that naturally the people who are speaking multiple languages. So, whenever we think about creating a multilingual website, then usually we think about two broad ways. One is that we can create uh, multiple websites, and these websites can be in different languages. And the second option is, which is usually we think that, okay, like why can't we have a same website and we can uh, change our content, or we can convert or translate our content into multiple languages. So what do you think would be an easier way? Managing multiple websites or having same website with multiple languages? Obviously, the second option would be much better. It is no doubt easy to manage, but apart from this, there is one more important advantage, which is, suppose you are having a website, or suppose you are having multiple websites. Suppose you are having a website in English, then you have Spanish content, then you have got German content, multiple websites you are having. Now, suppose if a person speaks English as well as Spanish, and or suppose French also. Okay, so suppose you are from Canada, and in Canada usually people speak English as well as French. So suppose that person is searching for something related to your business on Google, and he finds that your website, one of your English website as well as your French website, is appearing in the searches, Google searches. So what is basically happening here is that both of your websites are competing for the same search query. They're fighting together to for the same search query, which is not a good thing for search engine optimization. So this is the second reason why I do not recommend having multiple websites. It is not easy to manage, and apart from this, your results or your website start competing against each other. So the way out here is that you have the same website and you translate that same content into multiple languages within the same website. So how can you implement this thing? Let's understand this. So basically, let me erase this thing for making it easier for you. Okay, so now the board is ready for you. So there is a concept called as Hreflang Tags. Okay, you can see here language option. So I will not go much into the details of this because most of my audience is kind of beginners. So I'll, whatever things I'll cover today will be the basic things. So basically, HTML, the websites are these days they are made from HTML coding, okay, or HTML language, and HTML works on tags. Okay, now there are different kind of tags. I'll not go into detail again, and hreflang tag is one of them. So what is hreflang tag? Basically, when you implement hreflang tag on a website, then if a person visits your website, then hreflang tag lets search engine knows that, okay, which particular version or which particular version, or you can say which particular page of your website should be displayed in the search engine results. Okay, so let me make it easier for you. So suppose you have implemented Hreflang tags for German and English and French and Portuguese. Okay, so and now if a person from suppose South America uh, or Argentina to be specific visits your I mean in Argentina I think they speak Spanish also. So suppose a person from Argentina is visiting your website, or not visiting exactly, they are searching something related to your business product and services. So now uh, how will and you're having content in multiple languages on your website. Okay, so now how will search engine know that like which particular page should be presented to this person? Now this person, if he loves scrolling the web in Spanish, then search engines will know that this thing, and using hreflang tag they will come to know that okay, like you have got a Spanish content, and they'll present that Spanish content to this particular person. Simple and easy. So basically hreflang tag is making that communication process easier between the user and the search engine and your website. Okay, so it is maintaining that particular communication. Okay, so what are the advantages of having multilingual website? Now suppose a person, let's consider this the same person. Suppose this particular person has visited your website and he has got the content in Spanish. Okay, so suppose this is the search engine. So usually when we search on Google, okay, then we get multiple results, and usually there are 10 results which are organic, and like 4 results or they are kind of paid. So uh, now more than 4 also nowadays. So now if search engine is getting the right content to this person, okay, and this is your content, this is your website, okay, so now this person has got the right content in the first result only. So do you think that this person will come out of your website and go to all these other search results? No. And this is the main purpose of every search engine. The search engines have that same purpose, that they have to give the best search engine result to the person, or you can say the best search experience to people. So if search engines see that like you are giving a content where people are, once they are going to your content, they are not coming out of your content, they are getting what they wanted, and they are not searching for any other search results, then indirectly search engines will consider your website content as an authority content. Okay, and this will indirectly increase your ranking. So search engine ranking has got more than 200 factors. Out of these, one of this important factor is where you retain with the visitor on a website, for how long you are retaining that particular visitor on your website. Okay, and the more person is staying on your website, that indirectly gives an indication to search engine that your website is giving what that person was searching for. So what you have done, you have given a good user experience. Why? Because you have presented your content in the local language. Okay, you are giving a local user experience to that particular person, and the bounce rate is decreased. What is bounce rate? Bounce rate is nothing, when a person comes to your website and he comes out from your website by only after visiting one single page and within a short period of time. So basically bounce rate should always be low, right? So if bounce rate is higher, then it means that like people, what they are searching for, they're not getting that on your website. So that is why usually bounce rates go high. And in digital marketing industry or SEO industry, it is always said that you should have a low bounce rate. Okay, your bounce rate should be as low as possible. So if you are giving a local user experience, then naturally people will stay on your website, your bounce rate will be low, and globally your search ranking will be more. So why globally? Because you are presenting the same content in multiple languages and you are reaching a wider audience. So suppose you have got some competitors. Okay, suppose you have got some competitors and you are producing some good content. Okay, now this is your competitor, or this is you, and this is your competitor. Now your competitor is producing content in English, but you are creating content in English, Spanish, French. So what is happening? You are reaching out to these audiences also. Okay, so this is giving you a wider audience as compared to your competitor. You understand the point? That is the main advantage of having a multilingual website. Okay, so these were the basics, and if you want to dive into details, then I will show you. Like you can go to my blog here. I have written an article here. So in this particular article, I have covered whatever I have. I think not this article. I think this one. So you can go to this article instead. So this in this particular article, you can here's the link of that article if you want to go. So in this particular article, you'll find all the details about like what are Hreflang tags, why you should use them, and how it benefits you. And now comes the important point, that how can we implement Hreflang tags. So for implementing Hreflang tags, there are broadly speaking two options. One is that like if you are good in coding and programming thing, so what you can do is you can implement it without any plugin. So if we talk about WordPress, there are lots of plugins, and like there are lots of plugins. So if you don't want to go into plugins and you are good in coding, then there are two major ways that you can use. One is that you can add the Hreflang tag to your HTML header. I'll not go into the details. If you want to go into detail, go to this blog. And the second way out is including the tag in your XML sitemap. So I hope you know that what is XML sitemap. Basically, it's a list of all your pages for the search engines. Okay, so you can use these two methods. And suppose if you are not comfortable in coding, then there is another way out, which is using a plugin. So in the next video in this series, I'll cover all those major plugins. I've selected 5 major plugins. There are lots of plugins, but I've selected 5 best plugins that you can use, and I'll cover those particular plugins, like what are the pros and cons of those plugins in the next video. So one more important thing, that once you implement the Hreflang tags, it is very important to validate them. Why validate? Because sometimes even after implementation, the Hreflang tags do not work properly. So there are certain tools I have shared here in this article only that you can use for validating your Hreflang tag. And as far as SEO guidelines is concerned, one important guideline would be that you should, not blindly trust on the translation software. There are a lot of translation softwares, even Google, but do not trust it blindly if you are translating your web pages. Always after translating, do a manual reading, or if you are not comfortable in that language, pass that particular translation to an expert in that language, let them proofread it, and only after that publish that content on your website. So having a multilingual website is important, but giving good user experience is again more important. So these are the basics. So let me summarize whatever things we have covered. So today we have covered that, like what are the best ways to have a multilingual website, what are Hreflang tags, how multilingual website can help you in reaching a wider audience and increasing your global search engine ranking. How can you implement Hreflang tags? There are 2 major ways: without plugin, with plugin, and validating your Hreflang tags once you have implemented them, and do not trust on the translation softwares blindly. So these were the basics of this today's video. I hope you learned something new today, and in the next videos I'll not only cover the plugins, but I'll also show you how I have used one of those plugins on my website, and like how it is working on my website. So I hope you liked today's video, learned something new, and do leave me a comment if you really like this video, like this particular video, and subscribe to the channel. So thank you for being with me. Take care.